Cool. We're going live. Pretty good. 3, 2, 1. There you go. So we are live now. Fantastic. Well, here we go. Thank you for coming. Let me share this.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, man. I'm so excited. So I'm going to share this everywhere. And then I'm going to send you a link. And let me see this. And then thank you for everyone watching. Fantastic.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming out. Really appreciate it.
Anytime, man.
Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. I think that, yeah, everything's working. So I'm going to share this in a super fast way. And then we go. So let me see. How can I do this now? I think I can do this. Right.
You want me to share it too?
Yeah, if you want. That would be amazing. So let me share the link. Give me a sec. Yeah, I'm going to share the link with you here. Technology. Where did the chat go?
I know. I'm lost in Discord too. I'm not going to lie.
As soon as I find the chat. Oh, it's here, of course, because it minimizes. Because why not? Fantastic. There you go.
Cool. Let me copy the message link.
And I'm going to send it as well in the official Discord. That's all those things, you know, in case that anybody is there watching. Right. Fantastic.
All right, sweet.
Cool. So now... Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming. Let's start the podcast then.
Bro.
So, key things, you know, well, first of all, Ever Crisis podcast is my attempt to, you know, give a voice to this game, but also to the community. So I started with Edward, which is like one of my guildies. Like, I love him to death. And now I wanted to extend this to other content creators like yourself. And in the future, I don't know, I would like to have like a 4 speakers talking and chatting about the game, because I want the fire of the game to continue to actually improve. So let's start with a bit of introduction. Who is Ryder? Who are you?
So my name is Bodhi Ryder. I am a storyteller, an author, a content creator, husband, world traveler. For 15 years, I've been writing a book series called The Curseborn Saga. It's like a 13-book series, and it has a manga adaptation. You know, I've done book signings at Comic-Con in San Diego 4 years in a row, Anime Expo 5 years in a row, a bunch of stuff like that. But then recently I decided to take a break from the marketing and the touring of the books and pushing the books and actually finish the series. It's a lot of work. And so since then, like, I've been traveling the world. I lived with the monks in Nepal. I've lived in Japan, backpacked Europe, bicycled across Spain. You know, I've surfed in Fiji. I've climbed up to, 400-meter cliffs, and I write adventure stories. And so I feel like in order to do that, I need to live a great adventurous life. And so Final Fantasy is just something that I've loved since I was a child. And so, I do it for fun. It's nice to have a community of people that you can talk to all the time that love the things you do, because now I'm living in Peru, 40 miles from Machu Picchu, learning Spanish. But it's hard to meet people who have the same exact interests as you. That's why I really love content creation and Discord, so that, you can foster a community of people that do love the same things you do. And so I guess that's me in a bit of a nutshell.
Amazing. I resonate with a few of the things that you said, like living in Japan, hiking, like building a community because you want to share your passion and your love for the game, or your love for like a few topics that sometimes go beyond what gaming is. So I wanted to ask, Final Fantasy made it to our hearts in one way or another. And I wanted to ask, like,
seriously,
which was the first one that you played and why?
First one I played was 7.
7? Amazing. Same here.
What about you?
It was the same. Yeah, same. Yeah.
Yeah.
And why did you like it back then?
To be honest, Final Fantasy VII was the first video game I ever got. I got it for...
Amazing.
Yeah. So I got Final Fantasy VII, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and a PlayStation 1 for my birthday and Christmas, because my birthday is on the 31st of December, so I typically get just like 1 or 2 for that. And yeah, I since the moment I started playing, I loved it, dude. It was like I'd never even, been a part of anything like that in my life up until that point. I didn't really watch TV. I grew up, like, my family moved a lot. I spent a lot of time playing outside when I was a kid, so. And then when I got a PlayStation and I started playing Final Fantasy, and there was like such a narrative within this game that you're playing, and the story itself is spectacular. And from that point, dude, I don't know how many times I beat Final Fantasy VII over and over again. So many times, dude. And then I fell in love with the series. I played Final Fantasy VIII, I played Final Fantasy IX, I played Final Fantasy X, I played Final Fantasy XI, played all of them. I've played all the way. I've beaten 16. It's a little bit harder to go back and play the ones before it, just because I feel like the graphics are like, it just feels a little bit harder. For me, it feels a little bit harder, but I am interested in playing some of the older ones as well. But yeah, I really love 7. It really resonated with me. I mean, since I was like 13, I started signing my name Cloud. Like literally to this day on my driver's license, it's still set. I still set, like, on any of the books that I sign, I still sign Cloud.
Fantastic.
So like, yeah. It's pretty nerdy, but
you must be excited for the next second anniversary, I guess.
Yeah, right. Oh, dude, I'm so excited
because of the whole thing that he might. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I think that, like, I'm wondering, like, because we're like almost at the end of the line for every character having an ultimate weapon, right? So something is going to happen afterwards, whether we get like ultimate weapon 2.0s or we start to get accessories. Either way, Cloud is coming at like relatively the end of the cycle. And we also waited so freaking long to get Cloud, which I feel like wasn't really the best call for them. But I'm really hoping that it's going to be a lot better than Tifa's ultimate weapon. And then also something that kind of holds it down in the meta for like the next year. So I think that Cloud's ultimate weapon is going to be a step above.
Yeah, I think it must be. He's the dude, right? He's him. He's the GOAT. So
it's his game, right?
I think it needs to be. I was a bit disappointed with, like, well, what do you think about the latest ultimate weapon? Do you think they made it up to your expectations?
You mean Lucia's?
For example.
The Aldebaran? I feel like Lucia's is pretty good. It has like the HP life siphon on it. It has the haste. I would have rather it been a triggerable haste.
Yeah.
Like the haste cast when you cast it. I feel like haste at the beginning of the battle is always nice to have, but like the value of it compared to a haste that you can choose when to cast it is not really comparable. Red 13's weapon, like I didn't get Red 13's weapon, and I'm probably not going to get Lucia's weapon, so I don't really have that much experience like actually playing them. But I would say the last ultimate weapon that I thought was really solid was Matt's. Red's, like, I'm sure it will have its instances, but I felt it could have been better. Lucia's, I feel like, is good enough. At least it's good enough, but like some of them feel a little underwhelming. Lucia's feels like roughly like what an ultimate weapon could be. Like it's not the greatest thing out there, but also it's not the worst thing out there as well. So yeah, what about you?
I love Aerith still. Like up to this day, I think Aerith is amazing. Like the ability to have 3 extra ATB whenever you want.
Yeah.
I think it's just so powerful. I think it's, of course, like Red is good, but now we have the new weapon from the crossover. So basically, like the key thing of exploit weakness, now Aerith has it. And I still like Aerith. Vincent, because I'm a Vincent fanboy, but I actually think it's powerful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Even with the one cast?
Yeah.
Okay, sick. Yeah, because to be honest, like, I missed several of Vincent's costumes. Like, I really need an Omni Arcanum for Vincent, dude. Like, really bad, because I haven't been able to play him. Like, I wishlisted his weapons, leveled them up. I have them. I just don't have costumes for him. So,
right.
I haven't really been able to test his ultimate weapon, but I'm hoping, I think that hopefully Vincent will get an Omni Arcanum for the 2-year anniversary. It's hard to say. Hopefully.
I think I'm almost convinced that it's about to happen. Because he's one of the favorites, I think. So I think, well, that will go into the predictions a bit, which I want to talk about that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, let's say that before we go too deep into the anniversary, for those watching at home, Ever Crisis is a gacha game. Why do you still play? Why Ever Crisis?
Well, I would say that it's like a lot of childhood nostalgia. Like, it's nice to play all of my favorite characters from a game that I loved when I was a kid in a new way. Like, that to me has always been interesting. I like the battle system in Ever Crisis, kind of like the Final Fantasy XIII ATB charging style. And then you get to like the nice thing about a mobile game, right? It's like pros and cons with mobile games, right? For me, it's never really been such a huge like thing because I feel like part of the joy of a mobile game for me is like playing under certain circumstances. So for me, like I've already accepted that I'm never going to be able to get everything in the game. So once I've accepted that, then it's a lot easier to play the game. But then there's like part of the difficulty is actually playing the game. The other part of the difficulty is like knowing when to pull. Like it's a resource management game, which can be really, really healthy for people learning discipline and stuff like that. But it's also like kind of a slippery slope because you're messing with things that are powerful forces that can like mess up your life at the time. So it takes a certain amount of like cadence and discipline, I think, to be able to play a gacha game, you know, properly. And I have like mad respect for like full free-to-play players that are like super good at the game. Like the amount of patience, time, effort that takes is like just astronomical, you know? So for me, like I just play the games in the way that is fun. And, you know, that's my number one priority. Like if the game stops being fun, like it's a game. Like I think that's like the one prerequisite that a game should have is it should be fun. And so Ever Crisis is fun. I love playing it. I love the community. I love the challenges. Of course, I wish like I could have more gear sometimes so that I could do all the challenges. But, you know, it's life. You can't always have everything you want. And I think that that's important to not always get everything you want. And so I get, you know, my enjoyment out of it. I get a great friend group. Guilds are super fun. And yeah, so that's why I've been playing.
Amazing.
What about you?
Love that. Yeah, to be honest, like, first of all, I started playing because one of my cousin told me, hey, there's this game coming up. You will like it. And I was like, oh, fuck, it was Final Fantasy VII. And then the idea of, like, new units coming to the game, like, I was so waiting for Vincent because back in the game, in the OG game, I was always, like, dreaming about playing more with him and all the other units that are not so important to the plot in a way. So I was like missing that, and then being able to, it happened the same to me with like in Metal Gear, you know, there's this ninja, right? So the ninja for me was like the best character ever. And I really wanted to play with him more. So then when Ever Crisis came, it was like, wow. But not only that, like the mechanics, like when you play manual, is when you really unlock the full potential of the game, or semi, maybe, but like at least, you know, when you can control the units and stuff. So I really love how many strategies you can build. And now it's getting better and better, in my opinion, because finally we can build so many teams that is not so clear that it's just one meta, one team, and that's it. Like there are multiple options, although there might be like one option that is the Omega best, but there are others that are pretty close in a way. So yeah, I love it. And of course, the community. Like, I started the channel because I wanted to share like some data about the game, like if you use these R abilities and these other R abilities, and started to making videos and stuff. So then the community has been really supportive, and I love the energy. You know, it's like I don't know if you're playing other gacha games. So I would love to talk about that in a second. But like when I play other gacha games, the community is just not the same at all. Like you can see that people playing Ever Crisis, they are a bit more mature, like way more mature, I would say, in terms of like their way of speaking, their way of talking. When I cover other games, it's like, it's crazy. Like, it's like you are clearly seeing that people are like a bit more kids, childs, you know, being like a bit of a troll in the internet, which is like pretty common as well. It's expected.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, like I love the energy that Ever Crisis brings to my life. So yeah, that's why I keep playing. And of course, like my guild is, you know, it's many reasons, right?
Yeah. So for sure.
So yeah,
you guys crush it, man.
Yeah, like I'm so grateful, man. Like seriously, like everyone in Monarchs, but officers especially, like they put so much effort behind the scene, making sure that everything is, well aligned, and it's just fascinating. So it's almost like a different.
Sounds like a great guild, guys. You guys are crushing it every time, and I've known a few people from it, and sounds great.
Yeah, I think Chaos is watching, so thank you, Chaos. I think they're the best. Same with Penance. The list goes on. Tony, etc. Like the list is huge, but like
For sure.
So then, talking about gacha games, we know it's a slippery slope. Do you play other gacha games?
So for a long time, I had this rule for myself that I would never play any game other than a Final Fantasy gacha game. Just because I feel like it's kind of like watching TV shows. Like I don't really watch too many TV shows. I'm actually like super critical when it comes to storytelling. I've been doing it for so long. I've written like 4,000 pages. I've written over 10 novels. So storytelling to me is like, I can see when I'm watching something, if it's well done or not, very clearly. It's like I can see from behind the scenes. And I feel like, for a while I was like hesitant to kind of dive into other gacha games. And, because most of the time for me, free to play takes extra time, and time is like the one thing that I don't really have. So free to play is much harder to do, right? So I kind of was hesitant, but then recently I've been, kind of like dabbing in other games, and I think that I'm actually going to start covering a second game next year. And what I'm doing is I'm playing the game for like 6 months to fully learn it. And then I think that maybe I'll start covering it if I fully like it by that time. Like if I'm going to cover it, I want to really love the game. I want to be passionate about it and want to talk about it. And so, but for the most part, I don't play a lot of gacha games. I play Ever Crisis. I've recently been playing Wuthering Waves, which I think is a great game. It's a great game. I was so surprised at how the production quality of it. And so I've been playing, and I've been like contemplating potentially maybe making content for it. But we'll see, because it's a commitment, and it takes time. You got to learn a lot. Content creator, we have to be kind of knowledgeable about a lot of things. Like I don't really like pride myself on like my ever expanding knowledge of Ever Crisis. There's so much stuff, and balancing it with like working on the books every single day and traveling, and we're moving to Croatia in January, and so it can be a lot. But for the most part, I want to have like a balance in my life where I have time for gacha games. I have time for my family. Like every Sunday, me and my wife spend the whole day together every Sunday, no matter what. I want to have time for other console games, right? Like I play Monster Hunter with my friends, and we've been playing for 20 years, right? Great freaking game. I want to play. I haven't even had the time to play Claire Obscure 33, which I've heard is amazing, right? I've heard it's so good. And so I also want to watch like good movies, good shows. I'm talking like 9 out of 10 or higher. If it's not that high, I just don't even watch it. I'll put on something, and if it doesn't hit my like level of storytelling, because for me it's studying, and I don't want to study something that's not like great, right? So yeah, essentially, but yeah, for like gacha games, I kind of like have everything in its own box, and then that box is kind of like finite, so I'll only play a certain amount of hours in gacha for any period of time, because I want to dedicate myself to other things. Like I have rock climbing projects, I have adventuring projects, like family, reading, books, like the world. Like there's so many fun ways to enjoy the world other than games, and I love games since I'm a kid, but I want to have space for everything, essentially.
I resonate again with everything you're saying. Especially lately, I've been thinking a lot about where do I put my time. I chose Ethereal Start as a game, and I don't think it has been the.
I've been seeing you play it,
but it has a few really good things, and it has a few really bad things. So in comparison to Wuthering Waves, for example, or Ever Crisis, Wuthering Waves is hands down such a good investment in terms of time and the rewards that you get. Ethereal is still in the infancy of the game, so it depends on where it will go. I think it might be fantastic in 3 months, or it might be like dog shit. Or in a year, maybe in a year. Never know. But like when I come back to Ever Crisis, it's like, oh, fun. This works. Like this is amazing.
I feel that.
Yeah,
it's comfortable. Yeah,
exactly. Speaking of storytelling, No storytelling. No worries. Speaking of storytelling, how do you feel about the storytelling of the new episodes? Like we are getting some things that we never experienced before in Ever Crisis. How is your level of engagement and likability of those episodes?
Well, I think it's definitely really cool to get these new perspectives on stories and, for example, like Sephiroth's Masamune, like the story of Masamune. Super cool, something that I'm sure people have speculated on for years to come. So it's really awesome to get that aspect of the story. There's a part of me that really wishes, though, that Square Enix had done it, because it's Applibot making the story. And, especially when it's limited, like storytelling, the thing I like about a book is that a book has basically no boundaries on it, but when you're telling a story in a game like this and you're fitting this into this medium in which we're getting these episodic releases, what it's doing is it's confining the storytelling process into these little blocks. And I think that those blocks in Ever Crisis kind of hold it back a little bit. You know what I mean? So that's like my one grievance is I feel like it would be really nice to see something like directly from Square Enix with like their direct attention towards it. But other than that, I think that, all things considered, Applibot is doing a fairly good job of taking this and taking the direction from Square Enix. And then for us, we get to see like a whole nother aspect of this universe that we've been in love with for so long. And, yeah, that's more or less how I feel. Like it's really cool to see. I do think that like it would be cool to see like a higher quality version of it, like a direct project of SE. Like this is Applibot taking a like contract from SE, and then they get like they're getting they get all the information, the lore, the information, the guidelines, and the direction, and then they have to make it. But it's not actually SE themselves. So that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It would be fantastic. Also, I would love to see, when Angel is in the helicopter, right? We see like a kind of like top production type of like cinematics.
Yeah.
I would love to see more of those, especially when Sephiroth is fighting, the Smith and all these like feelings and talks. I would love to see a bit more on that in like a cinematic way. I think it will improve the storytelling in a way. Because right now, I don't know. It's like kind of like show. Yeah, there is a bit of tell, but I don't know if there's so much of show in a way.
I feel that.
I like the story.
Like a CGI cutscene can be amazing. Like, have you played Crisis Core, like the original one?
Yes.
Dude, so the cutscene where Sephiroth fights Angel in Genesis?
Yeah.
Like that is a legendary cutscene. Like no one who played that is going to forget that. And I feel like I agree with you. I feel like they could be doing stuff like that. Like give us something epic. Give us something that's going to like go viral on the entire internet. All the FF7 fans, even if they don't play Ever Crisis, are like, look at this cutscene. And I feel like that's kind of where Applibot kind of like misses it, because it's not a direct project of SE. They are taking it as a contract. So the passion aspect of the project might not necessarily be there. Like, is it a passion project, or is it a contractual project? Where they're like, it's a business term. So sometimes that's where I feel like a little bit it's missing. I feel like it's missing a little bit of that passion project aspect of it, where they take chances, they do things for fun, and they have the freedom to do that. And I just don't know the circumstances of Applibot. Like if they have that freedom, like how much freedom they have from Square Enix, like, we don't know all this information. We can only speculate. So it's really hard to say, I would say.
Yeah, 100%. I discovered recently, well, actually, I never thought about this topic, but I realized recently how much fandom Sephiroth has, Zack has, Cloud, the different like Cloud and Aerith or Cloud and Tifa. There are like even people are getting upset with each other on the internet. It's really fascinating. It's lovely in a way. I don't know. So I really think, as you were saying, I really think like one of those cinematics, it could bring so many new players to the game to experience the story, and then maybe they will stick around because they want to see more of like these people. Like. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, if you could choose one story, right, to see more of, which one would you like to see in the Final Fantasy VII, Ever Crisis universe type of thing?
Well, I think all of us are waiting for Advent Children. Advent Children would be super cool, but I think that's going to be something that happens later down the line. I really like Dirge of Cerberus. I know a lot of people didn't like that game. I played that game. I liked that game. I thought that game was cool. Maybe not perfect with the third person like shooting style, but I thought it was cool. And, just any way to kind of like integrate it more. My like fears for Ever Crisis is that I get that they're like, with a gacha, you want to move slow. You want to slowly release content. But like at the pace they're going, like it could be 25 years before we see Knights of the Round. So like I wonder, are we ever going to, like, when I first saw Ever Crisis, I saw the potential of Ever Crisis, and that's what excited me about it, right? Dude, I can play Cloud's ultimate weapon. I can do Omni Slash. I can do all the limit breaks. I can summon Knights of the Round, Bahamut Zero, like everything like that. And that's what made me hyped about it. But now the game is going, I feel like the pacing of it is just a tad too slow. And, like there's so many summons in the game. There's so many, it's such an expansive universe, and they're trying to contain it in this one medium, that I think they really need to start tapping into that. Like tap into it, make more of this content, flesh out the game more, input it into the game itself. And then I think for new players joining the game, I think one thing that Applibot has been terrible at is like new player campaigns. Like a new player should be able to join and get a guaranteed pick of their choice ultimate weapon, like right off the bat, or two, right? Because they need to be able to catch up. The problem with the mobile game is that if you're not a day one player, you're behind every single day that you weren't playing. Right. And like I'm experiencing that in Wuthering Waves right now, where like, I'm like a year and a half after the game started coming out. And so every single one of those days people were collecting stuff. Like I'm missing out on that. And so if you're coming into the game as a new player, there needs to be some incentive that you are getting a kickstart. Right. And so that's where I feel like they dropped the ball. And so I wonder, are they even trying to bring players at this point? Because there should, like I covered War of the Visions for a while, and they had, at the beginning was kind of like this, where they didn't really have great new player campaigns, and then they started doing it, but it was too little too late by the time they did it. And I kind of have that fear. And so I think that like, for the 2-year anniversary, we should get, every player should get like how we get the costume voucher? Yeah. Every player should get an ultimate weapon voucher. And then new players should get an ultimate weapon voucher and then another one because everyone else got one. And then they should have like 5 costumes they should be able to choose from, and then like 5 weapons they can take to OB10 right off the bat. And so if players were like, oh shit, I can join the game, get a free ultimate weapon, 5 costumes, and 5 OB10 weapons, then I don't feel like I'm so behind. I don't feel like I'm starting from scratch. I don't feel like I'm super weak. I don't feel like I can't compete in any content in the game, right? And then they'll be more motivated to play the game, to start the game. And let's be real, any mobile gacha game is a marathon, right? Like, I don't know how many times I've like told my wife, like, I need 10 minutes. I gotta do my dailies. Like, it's like our homework every day. And so, yeah, I feel like if you're going to bring someone back every day to do something, and then you want to bring new people that are going to feel behind, you need to give them something valuable. And the reason they don't is because they're somehow afraid of losing money. And this is my whole problem with the whole industry, is that it's so money focused that projects stop being passion projects. And once that happens, once it's no longer a passion project, then it's just slowly withering away over time, I think. So, yeah, I would love to see all this stuff, dude. I would love to see all this stuff.
Yeah,
honestly.
100% agree with you, especially on the focus on new players, right? Like the statistics are clear, like the player count is dropping. Like the loyal players and the people that are passionate and that love the game are staying. True, great. But like we need new players for the game to be... Because I will love the game, and I think you will love the game to survive for the next 10, 20 years or something, right? So it will be fantastic to keep living with Cloud in different costumes, abilities, weapons, combinations, etc. Maybe build a team of like Klaus and 2 of the Turks, like Elena and someone else. That would be yes, exactly. 100%. So I think we're all expecting that, but it's hard to see the light. Like there are some good things happening, but it's hard to see the light on that sense. And I don't know. I think I fully agree with you. Like it seems that there is like a money-driven incentives all the time, which are clear. But like simple things as the one that you said, like giving people free rewards because it's the anniversary, they will be so good, especially because the here in this game, I think, I don't know how you will compare with Wuthering Waves, but I think Ever Crisis how will you rate the difficulty of like catching up? Would you say Ever Crisis is easier than Wuthering Waves or harder in terms of like new players catching up?
I would say much harder in Ever Crisis.
Yeah, I feel the same.
Much harder.
I feel the same.
The problem is that we get a banner every week, so the game is oversaturated with weapons. Any new player is just are you a day one player?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have basically every weapon in the game, right? We have so much stuff, dude. I don't know how many, like 8,000 or something crazy. You know what I mean? We have so much stuff. And so in Wuthering Waves, the nice thing is that a character comes out like once every 6 weeks, right? Or sometimes it's like a double character, but there's a long time between banners. Here we get a banner every single week. So the amount of things that players need is constantly just multiplying on itself. And this is why I'm saying there needs to be a new player campaign that is generous and valuable to players, or else people are not going to join the game. What's the point? Like, how are they going to catch up? Like, you know, so at least in Wuthering Waves, which is also a mega marathon, let me just say, it's a mega marathon. But the nice thing about it is that it's combat skill-based game. You can beat all the end game content with all the free-to-play players if you're good at the combat. And that's really what I like about it. Ever Crisis is also the same. It is a skill-based game. If you are good at Ever Crisis, like I've seen some videos from some of the players, you know, Abood or Janelle, even Dramino, like tons of players that are just like absolutely crushing it. There's a player in my guild, Asgaroth, he's a free-to-play player, and he's an insanely good player, dude. So, you know, it is skill-based, but there is a lot of stuff you need, you know? So like if you don't have Tifa's ultimate weapon and you do, it completely changes everything about it. And then the other problem is that we getting a super like potent ultimate weapon once a month. And then the pity is 90k. I feel like 90k is really high for a pity for the ultimate weapon. You know, especially like if you miss it, it can be like just jarring on your account where, you know, some people may not have that skill or the time to put in that energy. And so if they don't get that weapon, they're just not going to clear content. And so, yeah, it's kind of a tricky thing. But I would say that Ever Crisis definitely would be harder to catch up to. It depends, though, on what you want in the game, right? Like, if you want to be clearing Crash solos, then yeah, as a new player, yeah. what
Impossible.
Do? Those impossible, right? It's not possible. But I think that needs to be possible. Like, a player should be able to clear a Crash solo in the game. I think that needs to be somehow possible.
Sorry, come again. Which time frame? Because the time frame got cut. Like in how many?
I think that 6 weeks. I think it should take a player 6 weeks of playing to build a relatively strong account, and this should be kind of, enforced and kind of aided by a super strong new player campaign that allows them to come in and get this, you know. Because if you can come in and choose an ultimate weapon, you can come in and choose Princess Guard, or you can come in and choose Tifa's ultimate weapon, right? Either one is going to serve you amazingly as a new player. And then from there, if you could choose like 5 OB10 weapons and 5 costumes, you could choose like all-around costumes. You could basically flesh out like the foundational setup of a team, not necessarily for a certain content, but like all around, right? And then you would build into certain contents at a certain point. So like you'd have a player and they would like, let's say they start focusing fire. And then if they were focusing that and then a guild like a Crash battle came around in 6 weeks, I don't think it should be insane for someone to be able to clear it. Obviously, they have to be a dedicated player. That's like the other half of it, is that like Applibot has to give, but the player also has to put in work in order to get to that point. So yeah, I think at this point, I have no idea how long it takes a new player to start clearing Crash, especially if they're not spending money on the game, right? Like, how are you even going to do it then?
100%. Someone in chat, Gelly Bake, was saying, it took me nearly a year to catch up in Ever Crisis with moderate spending. So, like, and I fully resonate with that. Like, it would be, I think it would be, if it's a free to play, it will be impossible. And also, like, you need to know a lot of knowledge, right, of the game. Like, you need to know, for example, in Ever Crisis, you will need to save at least, I don't know, 600k crystal or something crazy like that, so that at some point, when there is a mega anniversary or something like that, you can actually catch up with the game and get all the banners, OB10, and then for quite some time you will be good. But then how do you even get there? You will need to spend like, I don't know, 9 months? More than 9 months. Like 14 months or something. So it's crazy. Like we really need... We really need... 100%. We really need a campaign for new players so that they can catch up with the game. Speaking of which, on top of this one, what would you say is the one thing that you will improve about Ever Crisis? If you could choose something, what would you improve about Ever Crisis for the anniversary? Imagine that you could have a magic wand and say, boom, this has improved now, thanks to Ryder.
The first thing that I would do is I would like take my wand and I would improve their servers. Like, people should not be experiencing lag through Guild Wars. I mean, of course, there's always going to be a Wi-Fi megabytes per second thing. Like, everyone has a different setup, etc. So there's never going to be a point in time where everyone in the world has lag-free play. But if you're turning your graphics down to low, which I don't think is in the best interest of the company in the first place, if people are turning their graphics down to low, especially in a game like Ever Crisis, where like one of the selling points is that it looks great. You know what I mean? It's not like, and don't get me wrong, I love the City of Final Fantasy Opera Omni. I thought it was but the graphics are not great, right? Especially compared to this. So if that's a selling point and players are having to reduce that just to be able to play, but then still not being able to play properly, like the entire point of the game, I think, is this combat and us being able to play these characters. That should be the number one thing that is fixed. It should operate seamlessly, smoothly, and be fun for players to play. That would be, I think, the first thing that I would do is first and foremost take care of that. Have it run smooth.
I love that. And also love that you managed to find a wand. You managed to conjure a wand close to you. That was amazing. I was trying not to laugh because like it was a serious answer, but I was like, how did you find a wand so quickly? you're a real mage. That was amazing.
Yeah, secretly, it's just a pencil.
Oh. That was
it works as a wand. Hopefully it'll actually cast the magic spell and we will get the new Cerberus.
I fully agree with you. It's like a key improvement. Also in all the fights, like guild fights, but also sometimes all the fights, like it's so important to switch units, right? And we still are not really experiencing like a smooth combat sometimes. Like sometimes it's a bit, it feels like it's a struggle to switch units because you feel like you're wasting key time to do something. So I wonder if they will ever fix that by giving us a queue system so that you could queue better than now, which will be worse perhaps because it's not really the purpose of the game. It's not really to queue abilities, although we can queue abilities more or less right now when with the ultimate weapons and so on and so forth. But I wonder I wonder how they plan to approach this, because maybe they will acknowledge, okay, we cannot fix the servers, so what can we do? Bring a queue system, maybe, and then you can queue 2 abilities or something. Well, that could be the way, but then it's not the same, right? Because then fights become simpler, as in, like, it's not so frenetic, so it's a different thing. It could change the spirit of the game too much, perhaps, so I don't think they will do that.
But I think improving the combat overall, like I would, if I was running this team, I would have a small team where their entire focus was always making improvements to the combat system. What needs to be better? Like we should have, for example, like we have all these threshold weapons, right? Like when a HP goes under 70%, the HP bar should change color so that we know. Instead of having to be like, okay, my character has 11,732 HP, and 70% of that is this number, so now I need to be watching this number to know that this is going to activate. You know what I'm saying? Like, how hard would it be to just be like, when it hits 70%, the HP bar turns yellow, and when it hits 50%, the HP bar turns red. And then it's like, oh my god, you made our lives so much easier. This game is funner. That was so easy. Like, making that change is not going to cost them very much money. They that in a day. So there's so many little things that they fix. And so if they just had a dedicated little tiny crew, it could be 3 people where the focus is literally just to make combat better. How do they make it more efficient? How do they make it more fun? How do they make it run better, right? And I think that would be great. Like, I don't know why they don't do that, to be honest. Sometimes I feel very like confuddled by Applibot.
Yeah, same. It's so true. Like, a small quality of life changes like that, it would change so much. Like, also like sometimes the multiplying factor, like multiply by 1.2, and it's like, oh, but can you? Like, okay, I can do the math. Yeah, okay, but like, just tell me. Like, I don't know. Like,
or just put it there. Why not?
Small things, yeah, small things. So, what would be then the second thing? Let's say that you can only fix 2 things. What would be the second thing that you will improve in the game?
I would create a better new player comeback system, like what we were talking, because the game is not going to get new players unless they do that. So that's a great one. I mean, we've already really talked about that. That would definitely be the second one. Really, really strong, very generous comeback campaign. And I think this is where companies go wrong, where they become fearful that they're going to lose money, so risk. And I think that once you stop taking risks, like we're all living life. You can't really like do anything great without taking risks in life. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't work. Like, at some point in time, like, you have to have courage. You can't live without it, right? Or you can, but it'll be a rough existence. And so I think they have to have that courage. They need to take some chances. They need to, have fun with their own game instead of, and what I'm guessing is that the investor panel on Applibot has so much control that, the artistic department of the company just is on payroll and they don't have say on anything. They do whatever they say. And if you have a bunch of people that are on the investment panel, they're not passionate about the game. The game has to make a return on their investment every quarter. And if it's not, they don't care. So, and this is my gripe with the publishing industry and why I've been offered good publishing contracts and I've yet to accept any of them. And it's because of this exact problem. When you have producers and investors having too much economic they're too influenced by the economics of the project, and so the passion of the art is lost along the way, and I just refuse to be a part of that. But then like little things, dude, like what about like a jukebox for the lobby? Like, this is Final Fantasy we're talking about. Like, its music is timeless, like I can hear the Xanarkin theme song anywhere in the world and I'm like, boom, immediately brought back to that. That's how powerful music can be. So, add a jukebox, give us options for that. I would love to see chocobo racing or something silly and stupid and fun. Put that in the game. Why don't we have Queen's Blood? Like, why is that not in the game? Like, we get these like rinse and repeat events that are kind of the same thing. And I feel like they could honestly like spend less budget on the story of the events, because I'm not going to lie, I hardly watch them. Like I told you, I'm super critical on storytelling. And if I don't think it's 9 out of 10 or better, I just won't watch it. And that's books, story, games, anything. So I feel like they could take that budget, because it's not really 10 out of 10 storytelling, and put it somewhere else that people are really going to appreciate it. Like, evaluate your company, evaluate where it's strong, evaluate where you can redistribute resources and make the proper choices, right? So yeah, there's a ton of things. Like, if EC was a passion project, there's so much room for anything, dude. Like, they can do anything in this game. Like, the sky's the limit, So I think they just need to like go for it, have fun, go for it, make a great game, and take a leap. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but at least you tried.
I fully agree with you. And also, it's in a way ironic that the whole story of Final Fantasy, right, is the courage to be brave with your friends to try to change the world, right? That was the whole premise, right? And then, in a way, we need to apply the same courage to making a great game. But I fully agree with you. Like, I'm surprised the music is not there, as you said, jukebox. And it could be a good way to have events that they, if you clear the event, you have more music. And then you might miss a track, but at some point it will come back or something like that. I don't know. It could be a good incentive for players.
Yeah, for sure.
And also for me, Queen's Blood, like I will spend so much money in the game, honestly, like, just to be able to have more cards, different art styles and things like that.
Sure.
Play with friends, sharing.
Play with friends, exactly.
The classic share on Twitter, and then you can see, like, I was so shocked with like Pokemon thingy, Pocket Battles or something like that. They released the game. It was number 1 on the charts, on the gacha charts, because, like, of course, like, people want to play Pokemon. It's a fantastic IP, but also they want to do battles that are super quick and fun, and they want to collect different art styles of their Charizard, their Mewtwo's, and so on and so forth. Because it's lovable, it's fantastic. Why are we not having something similar? Like, it will bring so much money. It will be insane,
dude. I agree, man, 100%. I don't know why they've like kind of like found their little tongue in groove. Say, like, they've found their pattern and they're just following it, but they're not like breaking out of it. And we get like so many reawakened events. They're just like events that we already had, and I'm just like, where's the creativity here? Like, this is so easy for them to repeat this stuff. Like, they've toned it down to the least amount of investment that is absolutely needed to do anything, and they've found that guide point because I'm guessing their investor panel needs to make a certain amount of money per month, and so they've kind of toned down everything for that small group of people, and I don't think it's in the best interest of the company or the game or the players. So it would be nice to see some changes, something new, something created, something passionate, something out there, and to get people excited, And I think that, like, with gacha games, word of mouth is so important, right? Like, if you have a community that's like, this game is super free to play, it's like when Ever Crisis came out, everyone was like, this is the most free to play game I've ever played in my life. We had like no limited banners until FF9, and then it was like until 1.5, right? And it was like, this is amazing. This feels so fun. And then they just started getting more greedy. And as they did, people lost interest, because now when people go and they're like, what about Ever Crisis? And they're like, well, it started great, but then they had like 6 months where we had like limited banners back to back to back to back to back. And then the moment that happens, word of mouth isn't good. And people are like, well, maybe I'm not going to give it a shot. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like they're not really having the foresight to see it, like, what is exactly the best thing to do. So it's hard to say.
Absolutely agree with you. And it's interesting, right? Because even I think ourselves as content creators, I think I have to confess that it gets really difficult to review banners when if it's not limited. It's like, okay, guys, what do you want me to say? Like, it's not limited. What are you doing in this banner? I mean, okay, if you love the unit, stay on the banner because you love Zack shitless. Yeah, fantastic. Or Lucia, so hot. Yeah, amazing. Yeah. But like, the risk of the limited banners is like a shadow, right? That is flying over us. And it's like, and you are afraid of like stepping outside of your house because it's like this shadow could come back to us, like limited. And it's like, no, please go away. So yeah, fully agree with you.
Absolutely, dude.
Now, taking these ideas of like what we would love to see, perhaps down to the present, the second anniversary is around the corner, and I think it could be a really positive moment. What will be your predictions? Predictions that you have a lot of confidence that you're going to see on the second anniversary?
Ooh, okay. That I have a lot of confidence in. I'm super confident we're going to get a Cloud Ultimate. Because if they don't, I'm going to throw a rock to Japan from here. Their headquarters, the CEO's window, I'm going to like throw a rock through it halfway around the world. So I'm like positive after like, I don't really think it was in their best interest to hold off Cloud till like almost he should have been the first ultimate weapon to drop. It should have been just as strong as Tifa's, and players should have had the capacity to play him for the last year. So since they didn't do that, I can't imagine them not dropping a Cloud Ultima weapon. I'm hoping that it's going to be the Ultima weapon from FF7, which would be such a sick skin. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to run that. Other than that, I'm not exactly sure. I'm positive that we are going to get another summon-themed, lineup, right? That's become the trend. So like we had Bahamut in Anniversary 1, then we had Odin in half at 1.5, and now I don't know what we're going to get. I know for a fact, I've played a lot of Final Fantasy gacha games, that they love light and dark elements. So I think that light and dark elements will come to the game. Whether it's going to come in the 2-year anniversary, I'm not really sure, but like I could see them doing like an Alexander summon themed where they release light gear or something like that. And I think that would be spectacular. I really like the 1.5-year anniversary. I like the fights. I like the introduction of the escalation battles. That was a really nice addition that they made, was the escalation battle. That was a good idea. I think it functions well. I think the game is overall pretty generous in terms of rewards and stuff. The problem is, like you say, we have so many banners. We have the looming shadow cloud of limited banners, and so people don't want to pull featured banners because it just doesn't make sense. Like a limited banner could pop out around the corner, and we have to be prepared for that all the time. So they kind of like dug themselves a hole with that whole limited ordeal, where now people are like, well, I don't really want to pull a banner, and it doesn't really make sense, especially with the anniversary Ryder Grand Core. Like, why am I going to do that? And so, I think that they kind of should tone down the limited banners more. Go back to how the game was when it originally came out, where the game was making way more money when it first came out than it is right now. It was doing way better. And then it wasn't until they started like changing that things started changing. So, they, classic human mistake. They got greedy, and it can happen to anyone. So I'm not judging, but it's the truth. And then it didn't really pan out well for them. I mean, we basically like gathered thousands of people. We emailed everyone at Square Enix and Applibot. So I don't know. And I don't know. I would like to see something awesome for the 2-year anniversary. I would love to see an Alexander themed. I want to see Neo Bahamut as a summon so bad. That was my favorite summon, other than Knights of the Round. I think that they can make the Chocobo expedition more interesting. I think that certain things can have I think that there's improvements that can be made all across the board that wouldn't require very much, that would show the player base that the company is still passionately invested in making something fun. So hopefully they can do that with the 2-year anniversary. What do you think? What do you think we're going to get 2-year anniversary?
Yeah, of course, Cloud. Light and Dark, I have a theory about Light and Dark. The pessimistic inside me is thinking that Light or Dark will come just after the anniversary. It will be like, oh, surprise, a limited banner after the anniversary. Oh, there you go. Now it's Light. So but honestly, it's because once you're hurt, it's easy to doubt. We have been hurt before.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think there will be a new summon, and I'm thinking Genesis is the time for a new unit.
Yeah, he's coming next for sure.
I think it's the time for a new unit, which will be exciting, because maybe it's a good excuse to say, well, actually, he's coming with a new element as well. In the same way as we have seen Enfeeble coming when Seed came, or other abilities, increasing the limit gauge with Vincent, and I think, so on and so forth. So, it will be fantastic, I think, to see Genesis. At the same time, I will then be mad if it's like Elena from the Turks or Reno. So it's starting to explore that side of the bodies. It will be good to see the bodies stories as well. So I'm thinking, my prediction is Genesis, but also a new story, completely new story. That has nothing to do with what we are seeing, like a new episode.
Before Crisis.
Yeah, something like either the Turks,
Dirge of Cerberus,
or something. Yeah, Dirge. Something that is new storylines to show us more about the world, and to give us something that is not exactly the first soldiers and it's not exactly Sephiroth, but it may be related somehow at some point. Of course, it will be interconnected. So that's what I'm thinking. What I would love to see, which I don't think it will happen, is an improvement to the Materia's RNG and the brands.
Oh, Yes, dude. The materia needs to be. It's horrendous.
Yeah, and for me,
I can't stand making materia. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, 100%. I used to be so hardcore, and now I barely do. I just do the basics, like, and then I log in twice per day. Yeah. But the key thing that I would love to see is brands having, if I could choose one thing, is perhaps brands having 2 slots, so that you can have
slots, so you can save one.
Yes.
Like for an ultimate weapon for Cloud, let's say I have like triple attack, but then next time I need a magic, I can save that and then make %. We absolutely need that. I'm so tired of rebranding everything all the time. It doesn't make any sense.
And I think it's
honestly
100%, and I think it's really hurting the player base because like we don't have that many resources, and like you really want to, at least how the games that I rate highly are those games that respect players' time, right? Time is the only thing that we cannot get back, right? So if you like, you need to roll all the time to get like three P attack, for example, or something, but then later you might need percentage C ability, or you might need M attack or something, or PDEF. Like there are so many things, and we don't have the time, we don't have the resources. It just doesn't make sense. We need at the very least, 2 branded slots, ideally 3.
3.
And I think that will be a fantastic quality of life improvement. That if it doesn't happen,
100%.
I think if it doesn't happen, it will continue upsetting the player base, because it's so often that we want to do our best, and we are limited by their own mechanics of the game. And I'm not even saying introduce a PT system or something on the brands, which will be even better. Like PT system, and also 3 slots, so that, you know, after 20, or I don't know, let's say after 40 rolls, you can get like a really good thing. That would be
like a pity on it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be good too, for sure. That's a great idea, dude. I wish they did this. And see, this stuff is like not something that I think would be too hard for them to figure out. Like they obviously imported the brand system. They could give us like a unending farm where we're like burning the old brands. But I just don't think it's really like in their best interest, to be honest. Like I see where they're coming from like an economic point of view. Like if you had someone sitting at a table that's like a business major, I could like see them making that choice. But I just don't think that this person really, like, you need a CEO of a company who can like bird's eye view the entire thing. So like they can hear from the person who's good at making money, but they can also hear from the person who's passionate about the art, and they can hear from, and then they can see everything and then make the right choices. And I feel like that's where they kind of drop the ball a bit, is they don't see from everyone. It seems like they just listen to that one person at the table over and over and over again. And, you know, like I started, like I said, I don't really play that many gacha games, but I've been playing Wuthering Waves, and I was like, certain things, practices that I thought were standard across all gachas have really surprised me, because they have amazing quality of life changes. They really want it to be fun and easy for the players. I can have infinite echo slots. Like I don't have to pay 50 blue crystals every time I need 5 more materia slots. It should be infinite, right? Like there's no like restriction on these things that don't matter, because those things just frustrate players. Like make your money because you make a great game, not because you found all these clever little ways to like take out an extra money from here and there. Like it's just like, it just makes them look bad, and it ultimately makes them make less of a game than they could ultimately. So yeah, it'd be nice to see that stuff. I wish that they listened to this, like, you know, because I feel like this would make the game better. It would help them do better, you know, like they are their own worst enemy.
100%.
Sense, right?
100%. So I also played Wuthering Waves in the past. I covered a few videos, I think. I fully agree with you. Like I think the leadership team over there is clearly showing really good intent to listening to the player base. Of course, at some point, players are gonna say things that doesn't make any sense. But once you collect all the data points, then you can actually do something. Which I think it was like a big miss on the survey. That is fantastic that they did a survey. Probably one of the best news for me personally that I have seen in Ever Crisis. At the same time, I don't think the questions were extremely oriented to really gather, you know, the classic, what is the only thing that you will fix, the one thing that you will fix for you, the two thing, the second thing, like trying to get a list of priorities that are important for players. I think it was difficult to convey that idea, I think it was like a bit all over the place. Like, give me your favorite costumes, dude. Like, I think it's not the time to speak about the favorite costume. We have bigger problems. Come on, like,
absolutely.
maybe make a different survey. Make a different survey, and then I will tell you all about the costumes. But like, we're mixing things here too much. Yeah. So I fully agree with you.
Dude, for sure.
So yeah, there's quality of life things.
Yeah. I mean, I hope they don't do like light or dark after the anniversary. I don't think that would be a good move for them. So I think they're like, they're more on point right now recently than they have been. Like, I think they're more aware. I also think that after we like bombarded, because like I made sure that everyone sent emails to Square Enix too. If you like saw that like live stream where Tetsuya Nomura was there, he like did not look happy.
Yeah,
so like,
I saw that.
It's like, so I think they're like, okay, shit, guys, like we got busted. Pull it together for a little while. So yeah, I hope that doesn't happen. I hope we see a great 2-year anniversary. I hope they introduce a amazing new player comeback campaign. I hope they rework Materia so it doesn't suck. Like, we should have infinite slots. There should be so many ways. Like, I should be able to have an item where I can be like, it's going to focus this stat. I know for sure if I level it up, it's going to focus this stat. This should have been in the game like a year ago. You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't have to roll Materia because, like, I'm one of those people that's had like horrendous Materia luck.
Same.
Like, I still don't have a single Materia that's over 10%.
I think I have one, and it's heal or HP or something. So
yeah, HP. I have HP that's like 10.2. But like, some people get amazing luck, and you know, I get that in a sense. It's fair that it's equal across the board, but also it's like, it kind of just sucks for the people who don't get good luck. It sucks, and it's like, yeah, okay, well, it's fair, but it also is just shitty, and also it's Materia. Like, I think there needs to be a certain amount of respect for the player's time. It shouldn't be like you're trying to do everything so that I'm sinking all this time into this. You're just slowly making me hate it. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't really make sense to me, like, their thought process. So, yeah, I mean, I would love to see the Materia brands. We should have multiple saved slots for brands. Like, that should have already been a thing from the moment brands launched. Of course, like, 2 new elements would be rough because that's just like so many more things we have to get. But also, it sounds fun, you know? It sounds fun. Like, light and dark sound fun. I could see like Cloud and Sephiroth getting a light and dark set. New summons like Alexander would be so cool. Neo Bahamut Zero. Like I said, like, there's so many of them. And then just having them like go a little bit quicker. Like, Crisis Core as a story should have ended a while ago. It's been like dawdling, dude. And so they have all these other things before Crisis, Dirge of Cerberus, Advent Children. Like, there's so many. That I feel like they need to like get moving, you know? Like, let's go, guys. Like, bring out the game, bring out the FF7 universe, give us what you promised when Ever Crisis was first revealed, right? Which was an entire vast, like, opening the door into the world of not Narnia, but like FF7, you know? And it's like, we've gotten it, but it's been slow. And so I think that, you know, like, I would love to see the game go 10 or 15 years, but I think they need to like see, like, we need to get to the stuff that people are really excited about, you know, and it would suck for them to just never get there. So I really hope that they do.
Yeah, I hope the same too. And also, you were making a point before about, I hope they listen to this. I really hope they do. And one of the things that I have seen other games doing actually is inviting a few creators. So like, I would love to see you talking with them, you know, like, I would love to see, like, you know, we have so many good content creators in the space. I would love to invite more people in the future. But like, I would love that level of community, breaching the gap to them so that they can actually hear us, like a private Discord where you meet every now and then with some community managers, like investing on real feedback, because I think the gap is way too big, and it will be fantastic to enable that mindset. Like, that was one of the reasons why I got excited about Ethereum Restart. Like, I saw that. Like they did that with the CEO and a few content creators, and it was like, oh wow, this is extremely positive. It didn't deliver, but the intent was there, right? The intent was there. So I would love to see something similar, which I think other games are doing. So at the beginning,
honestly, they should do that, man. I don't know why they don't. They should be reaching out to the content creators. We should have inside scoops, way to help share information. Like, we're essentially free marketing for them, and I don't think that they utilize it to their advantage whatsoever. They do in certain games, but in this one, I mean, they reached out to me. They sent me this like little pencil case or something like that.
Oh, congrats, man! Well done.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But like, rather than being sent stuff, I'd rather like work with them to help them make the game better. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool to get sent stuff, but like, really, like, I'm here to like speak on behalf of the community and, you know, try to help the company make this game, because I don't think they're really connected to the players. But if they connected to the content creators, then they could have a connection to the players. Then they could start making changes. The content creators could speak on behalf of them, because it's like, hey guys, I spoke with them. They are aware of this situation. They are aware of Materia or brands, etc. And they are, at least they've heard us, right? There's it's static silence on their end. And so we are all just sitting here wondering, are these things going to change? Are they not going to change? Like, and I think that connection, that, like you said, would be really important and overall like healthy for the game in general.
Yeah, I really believe so. And also because when CCs mess up, you know, their communities show them, hey, I think you mess up here. So then it's really easy to, you know, have a proxy of the voices of the players. So I think that's another thing that we're missing, on top of like all this like, please fix the game kind of thing.
Straight up. For real. Yeah. So, yeah, I feel that, dude.
I think so.
But I think overall, I really like Ever Crisis. I have a lot of fun. I've made a lot of good friends. We're hanging out right now, which is super cool. So there's a lot of great things about it for sure. And most of the things that we're talking about are like tiny fixes, dude.
Yes.
Like, Materia is a tiny fix. Brands is a tiny fix.
The bar, the percentage of the health bar, you know,
percentage bar,
easy.
So many things. There's probably like 50 things they could find that would cost them little to no money to change at all. You know, they just have to like, there has to be, I think the leadership struggles a bit. Yeah. I think it's a bit apparent.
I think that's it, because it's always like in common language we say the devs this, the devs that, but it's not the devs, right? It's like when you look inside that, the devs are following whatever they are told. It's the leadership what needs to decide. And as you were saying before, it seems like the chief financial officer or whoever is responsible is not listening to the chief product officer or something like that. Or maybe they are listening, but maybe they are like way above in the hierarchy and they have their ideas and their vision and they are imposing their vision. And then, of course, you listen to the leadership, like, because everybody wants to have a job that is safe in a way and secure, and they want to bring food to their table and, you know, and or provide or, you know, have like a wonderful life. So naturally, they're humans. But like
seriously, dude,
some of these humans that are making decisions, they just need to listen a bit more, you know.
Great.
Yeah,
they're not great. I mean, let's be real. Like, in any strong leader, the people suffer. And yeah, so many people say the devs this, the devs that, but like, I've been working in this industry for a long time. In almost all cases, the developers have no say.
Yeah,
at all. They're on payroll. They're like, they are told what to do. They can like submit an opinion, but that's like the grounds on it. Now, unless you get like someone like Tetsuya Nomura or someone like that, like a developer that's like actually, you know, come into the position of a producer, and now they have say, right? They can speak on things. So, but I don't think that's the case here. I don't think the devs have any say. And I don't think that's working well for them. I think that they do need to have a lead dev that is making suggestions that they are listening to. And they can say, you know, come to us with 50 changes that won't break this budget, right? Exactly. But, you know, yeah, super easy, you know, and then do the ones that are low budget. And then if it's a higher budget thing, they could even put out a survey. Like, how important is this to you guys as a community? You know, just super simple things. that I think are reflected in the leadership. Especially when we had the like, when was it? What month are we in right now? It's August. It was like June, right? When we had those like June or May, where we had those like bunch of featured banners that didn't really make sense. It was like Sid followed by Yuffie, and then they just like felt strange. Like why are these coming out like this? And then they recently made a change. The costumes have been better. Like, there's definitely some improvements for sure. And I hope to see more. The 2-year anniversary, I think, is going to be pretty telling for the game's future.
100%.
Like how this plays out. Yeah.
Since you said that, Kairos in chat was asking, shouldn't we make another ticket move with the main easy points to fix the gaps of the game? It's asking that question. Like, should we make another mass Appli strike type of thing?
Well, I think that with the mass email thing, it's like our ace up the sleeve.
Yeah.
So you have to do it. Like the time when we did it was the right time to do it. And so it had impact, right? And there's so many people that are like, this is going to do nothing. This is going to do nothing. And I'm sitting here like, guys, I don't think you realize your power. Like they don't have any power. The moment people stop spending money, they have nothing. They are 180 million% dependent on every single player of this game. So if you're running around saying, oh, there's nothing we can do, it's ignoring the power that we have. Now, can that power be abused? Absolutely. If you do it at the wrong time, will it be as effective? Absolutely not. So knowing when to do that, I think is super important. Now, these suggestions, I don't think there needs to be like a mass ticket thing necessarily. When I had more time, like now I'm like editing 2 novels a month. It's like 200,000 words a month. So I've been like putting out less videos naturally. But I think like, videos like what I was doing, like the Dear Applibot videos, and if any content creator did them, honestly, and just talked about it, because I do think that I do get the feeling recently that Applibot is watching our videos and like taking them into consideration. So, just finding a way to, honestly, probably the most important thing would be if Applibot did start reaching out to content creators. There needs to be a connection between player and Applibot. And right now, that's what's missing. So, Kairos is saying we should put in this ticket because that's going to solve the problem. Like the ticket is the solution of the problem, and the problem is there's no communication between player and dev. So, maybe like, I don't know, like how do you even approach this? I thought about sending them an email, but I'm not exactly sure. Like Applibot is a Japanese company, and so it's kind of a tricky thing, like trying to figure out how to do it. But I think that, for me, like I've had a couple people in the past few months like reach out like, oh, maybe we should do this. And I'm just like, let's just wait, guys. Let's wait to see what happens. We need that pull. We need that play for if something goes wrong. If they start to go wrong again, then we need to be able to pull the trigger. But if we do it all the time, it loses its impact, I would say. So like I said, it's really important, like when you play it. It's like knowing when to use a weapon in a battle, right? It's super crucial when to use it, and you can use it at the wrong time, and it can cost you the battle. So I feel it's the exact same thing here. You got to look at it the same way. We got to use our ultimate weapon at the right time.
I agree. Will you still encourage people to write feedback as individuals?
Of course.
So I think
definitely. Absolutely.
I think that's
For
the
sure.
best. 100%. Yeah, I think people that are passionate shouldn't shy away from sending an email as individuals, and then we as a community, we can get together. We have proven that we can get together to show that we care.
Yeah.
But that's like,
I think we sent like 1,000 or 2,000 emails, to be honest. It was a lot.
It was actually amazing. When I saw Japanese Twitter,
That's great.
Yeah, it was fascinating, to be honest. Like, I have seen other political movements not getting the level of love that this was getting. Like, it was fascinating, to be honest. And it's clear, like, we have people like you that you're leading a community that care about the game, and then we can make a change because like people are really passionate. It's the thing I was saying, like the community in Ever Crisis is way more mature. Like, I don't think it will happen in the same way in other games. It will be more trash talk on things like that.
No, definitely not. That's one thing in Wuthering Waves is, man, the content space is very drama.
Oh, yeah. I have seen that.
Yeah. So, which I really appreciate about Ever Crisis is that it's not so drama focused, because like I've never really liked drama in my life. I don't like talking about, you know, people in general. Like I just, you know, what people do, and like I don't really want to take the space in my own life to like really dwell on stuff like that. Like I can do what I can do, and I can do my best at it, and that's pretty much it, right? That's kind of how I see it. So yeah, the community in Ever Crisis is amazing. Like I've made so many great friends, dudes, and like in the Discord and just from the game and people I talk to in comments. Like it's just a great community of people, and I know that everyone here wants the game to just genuinely be good. Like people are here because they have fun and they want the game to continue on, and they want to keep playing the game and supporting it. And so, you know, yeah, I think that it's, you know, people should be sending in tickets. Like I had these conversations with people. I think there was even some dude commenting on your video during the time we were sending this in. One dude trying to convince everyone that it's a waste of time. And I just don't understand the mentality behind it. Like what's the problem? Like you spend 8 minutes writing an email and you send it in. You tried, but if you don't try, there's 0% chance that anything's going to happen. So I just don't understand the mentality behind throwing in the towel without even stepping in the ring. I've just never understood that. Like it just doesn't make sense to me.
I fully
Yeah.
Sorry, I fully resonate with that. And it's the same in other aspects of life, right? Like so many people are complaining about the lifestyle or the lifestyle of the people around them or the politics in this country and that things like that. And it's like, did you try to did you vote? Did you try to, I don't know.
Yes.
Like I'm not saying, I'm not doubting. Yes, I could do something. Like what did you do? Because doing nothing and just defaulting to the fact of like, oh, but we cannot do anything is rigged and is cool. Maybe it's rigged, but if you don't try, it's the same. Like people want to improve their physique or they want to learn this language or that other thing, and it's like, oh, hey, cool. Of course, we cannot become astronauts from one day to the next, but we can improve a little bit. And maybe there are a few things that we can, you know, between the boundaries, between the resources that we have, we can improve a percentage, some percentage. It's not huge. We cannot become, you know, Michael Jackson. We cannot become rock stars, exactly. But we can become a little bit better, enough to like, you know, and also we can have fun.
What they did.
Yes.
That's what they did. They worked a little bit every day with a like focused goal, and they didn't give up. Like the one thing that all successful people have in common is they didn't give up. You know, so like you look at the common factor, right? I mean, like, you know, I'm not going to say there's definitely been people that like did throw in the towel and like by some stroke of luck something happened, but like for the most part, 99.9% of people, the one thing that's in common is that they didn't give up. And so, you know, I just don't really believe in that. Like I believe in a tactical retreat. Sometimes it is the right move to retreat, right? You know, but not always. So we should fight. And yeah, I think action is really important, and like talking about action like does, you know, it can help when we're talking in a way that's going to encourage action, but like, you know, talk is cheap, right? So we need to act ultimately at the end of the day for what we want. And that means that every single player in Ever Crisis has a small portion of that responsibility. How they go about it, how they interact with players. Are you not having enough patience when it comes to something? Like, you know, if something's going wrong, did you send in a ticket? Like do something like that. Like if you just tell yourself that like this is never going to amount to anything, it's never going to go anywhere, take that same approach to the rest of your life, and it's going to make everything so much harder. You know, of course it sucks to like put in the time to do something and then to not have it work. Of course that's always going to suck, but that suckiness should never stop someone from giving it a shot in the first place, I think.
Yeah,
honestly.
Which it doesn't mean that things are going to get better. Like maybe they won't. that's the hard.
Yeah, for sure, it's
like,
possible.
Like it's quite, yeah, maybe there are huge possibilities that nothing will change, nothing will improve, but for sure, like 100% for sure it's not going to improve if you don't try. Like, and just because you try doesn't mean that it's going to get better, but it's the only chance that we got. And it's like that's why I love this anime culture, the Japanese culture, the Ever Crisis, Final Fantasy. There is a chance to fight against Shinra, fight against the big powers, and maybe we won't succeed, but we need to try, right? So I always feel really inspired with these stories, which is actually I wanted to get back into the, we started asking by, what was your first game? It was Final Fantasy VII. Would you say that's your favorite from the whole franchise? Or would you say?
I would say that Final Fantasy VII will always have a special place in my heart that's irreplaceable, just because it was the first Final Fantasy I ever played and the first video game I ever played. If I step away, if I step out of my own personality and I would say that 7, 9, and 10 are pretty much equal for me.
Wow.
In terms, I love those three. I thought they were so well done. All of them. And don't get me wrong, I still love 8. And I still love a lot of the games. I platinumed 15. I almost platinumed 16. So there's a lot of great games, but those three, the storytelling in 10 was 10 out of 10. 9 I thought was I don't think 9 did quite as good just because the style was different. And so people weren't as attracted to it, but I loved the story in 9. Zidane and Dagger, so good. And then 7 is just amazing. It's so dark, and there's just you're trying to figure out what's going on. It's serious. You have Sephiroth, who's, let's be real, basically one of the most iconic villains of all time and will continue to be. So you have that. Then you have Cloud. Then you have this amazing ensemble cast that just completely plays off one another so well. You have Barrett, you have Tifa, you have Aerith, you have Red 13, and Sid, Vincent, Yuffie, all of them, right? And it just comes together so well. So yeah, I would say that it's my personal favorite Final Fantasy, but I would say that it is on equal standing for me as 10 and 9 as well. Yeah. What about you?
It's still so difficult, right, to do a tier list or because I also played Final Fantasy VII, the first one, so of course it has a really special place in my heart. So I will say I really like the story of 8. I don't know. I was such I was in my whole teenager era being such a romantic person, and I will always remember how Squall left the ship trying to find Reno, and I was, oh my god, it was so beautiful. So the whole idea of 8, I really like it, but there were a few things of the gameplay that I hated, like extracting magic. Yeah, that I didn't like that one.
Yeah.
Then 9 came, and I think 9 is one of the most solid games for me. I think it was pretty solid in a way. Also, it was the first one that you could actually play with friends. You could play co-op in the same battle system. It was fascinating. And then 10 is fantastic. 10 is oh my god. So then if I needed to rate them, probably 7 will still be the first one, but then I will move to 10 because Auron, Tidus, I don't know, 10 fantastic, and then
it's just amazing.
Yeah, and then I will go 8 and then 9 in a way. 8 because of the story
style.
Yeah. So yeah, but it's difficult, man. It's difficult. Then I was playing recently 16. I didn't finish it yet. So 16 was looking really promising, especially because it's a bit. It felt a bit more mature. There are a few things that are happening there that I wasn't expecting at all. 15 I really like, but I don't know. Didn't make a dent. And then the Lightning one was 13 or something. There's Lightning.
13?
Yeah, that
Lightning was 13.
One of the worst for me.
Dude, I really liked the concept, but then the delivery of it, I feel fell a little bit short. Honestly.
Yeah, I really wanted a woman protagonist. I really wanted to love her. I wanted more, but I didn't get. I don't know. I didn't get what I was looking for.
Same feeling.
Yeah, the storytelling was always so weak, and it was like, how? Also, the Noctis one, the Noctis was the 15th, right? Noctis and the guys with the car.
Yeah, 15.
I think the first 4 hours of that game, they were absolutely masterpiece. They were fantastic. But it's a shame that, which is kind of happening now in Final Fantasy. It's a shame that you needed to understand the story by watching the movie and then watching this and doing DLCs and da. So it's like,
I know.
And then at some point, I remember playing that game, and there is something crucial that happens, someone dies or something, and everybody is like really shocked, and it's like, but who is this person? like someone died. I don't want to spoil much in case that anybody still haven't played that, but someone important dies, and people are so shocked and so sad. But there was no, development towards that. Like, it was no build up. It was just like, and it's like, what's going on? Like, I never saw that in any Final Fantasy. So it was a bit disappointing. But the gameplay was fantastic, I think. But yeah, I wouldn't rate it as the highest.
Like in Chapter 9 and in Final Fantasy 15, where he's fighting Leviathan and he's like flying. That fight is one of my favorite fights in all of Final Fantasy, dude. I thought that was so sick. Like, I really loved 8 too. My only gripe, and I feel like this is Final Fantasy's crux when it comes to storytelling, is that they have extremely complex plot lines in Final Fantasy. And when it comes to storytelling, like, you can have the most complex plot line in the world. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is being able to tell the story in a simple way. And this is something that I feel like Final Fantasy has struggled with for a while, because when I finished Final Fantasy 15 and I beat it, I was like, I don't really get what happened.
100%, man. Like, it's like, I don't know. I guess I will wait for the movie or something. Like, what's going on? I will read the manga. Yeah, it was so bad. It was so bad.
I had to watch a YouTube video to figure out like what was happening. And like once you understand it, you're like, wow, this is surreal. Like, this is so in depth. But then, like, for me, I've been writing for 15 years, and it's like, the whole point is being able to take something complex and make it simple. And I feel like they do a great job of it sometimes, but then other times they struggle. And I think that Final Fantasy 15 was one of those games where it did struggle in the storytelling. Like, it was like the narrative was not being conveyed in a simple way. And so it was kind of like you're kind of always wondering what's going on, but not in a way that's like a mystery where like you're trying to figure it out like in a positive way, but more in like a way that's like, I just don't really get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah.
It was the worst. I don't get it. It was, for me, it was similar to the 13 with the Lightning one. But in a way, Lightning one, it could have been even better in a way that things made more sense, even though I didn't like the story, but it made a bit more sense. Like with Noctis and their friends, it's just like, where are we going, guys? Like, I don't know. Okay, cool. Like, let's just go. Whatever. Sure, why not?
I feel that. So 16 is a pretty simple.
Just
playing.
Sorry, come again, please. The 16 parts, come again, because it got cut a little bit, so we lost you.
Yeah, no worries. So I would say that like the Final Fantasy 16 story was actually pretty simple, and I thought they did a good job telling. My one gripe with 16 is that it's not a team-focused combat. You play Clive the entire game, and I feel like they should have left the game in 6 months more of production in order to make it so that you could play every character. And then 16 would have literally so great. The combat was fun. The story was good. We just needed to be able to play more characters than Clive. Like, it felt more like a DMC, Devil May Cry, like mixed with a Final Fantasy, but almost more of a Devil May Cry sometimes, I feel like.
Yeah, I think that would have been the cherry on top, because imagine playing with Sid with that mega voice, man. That would be.
Sid was so sick.
That fucking
so good.
I still haven't finished the game, but I'm maybe on the last 3 acts or something. I don't know. I don't know exactly where I am, but the thing with Sid, just it happened a few chapters ago, and then It's such a good character. My God, imagine playing with.
It was my favorite character in the whole game.
Same.
He's
for now.
so good.
For now, same. I don't think
Amazing.
Clive will ever get even close to that. Like, so much
Yeah,
aura.
yeah. Perfectly, like such a good leader, good person, strong-willed, like goes out fighting for the like. Too good, man. That's something that I've been waiting forever. Like, I want a live costume, and I want to see a Sid crossover in Ever Crisis. Like, where is that stuff? Where's the Final Fantasy X crossover? Where's the Final Fantasy 16 crossover? There's so many. That's what we're saying. There's so many things they can do. We get Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest is cool. I've never really like played many of the Dragon Quest games. Like, I'm sure they're great. I like the more mature kind of style in Final Fantasy as opposed to Dragon Quest.
Same.
It's a little cartoony. For me, I'm sure the stories are great, but so I'm not like super psyched on the Dragon Quest collab, but like I think we have great costumes, banners, weapons, etc. But like we've had like what? Final Fantasy 9, Final Fantasy 6. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Terra,
Yeah,
and then on the 9 it was Zidane and that. Yeah, don't remember.
And Amarant. Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah.
And so that's 2 major Final Fantasy collaborations in 2 years. That's 1 a year. Like that's. I mean, I don't want to necessarily like advocate for more like limited crossover stuff, but at the same time, like I would love to see a FF16 collaboration.
100%. In my opinion, in a way, they should, rather than doing more collaborations, leave the collaboration for the anniversary or 1.5 anniversary. So then it's like more meaningful. It's like we are celebrating Final Fantasy as a, series. And then you have the second anniversary, which is theme based on maybe 9, maybe the 10th or something. So then it's like not extra. So then we are limiting the limited banners.
Yeah, for sure.
But and then cool, it's things that will come and then they will never appear again. But it was theme and it's fantastic, and that's something that I'm missing. Like there is too much. The anniversary becomes important, extremely important for the weapons, for the value, for your account, etc. There is a bit of a story there that, as you were saying before, like it doesn't really makes much sense. Everything is like non-canon, and they enter into a portal, and then boom, bam, bim, and it's like,
yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Whatever, exactly. Let's just believe it. Why not?
Yeah. I feel that. I totally feel that.
So it would be way better if it was actually like a bit more meaningful. So then, and Final Fantasy base, I think it will be fantastic. It's just a pity.
Yeah, I think they need to drop a new story segment into the anniversary. Like we have Crisis Core has like one more chapter left. So I think it makes sense for them to like drop before Crisis. It's going to be before Crisis or Dirge of Cerberus. Advent Children is going to be like their ace up the sleeve. Like we're not going to get Advent Children until like probably towards the end of the game's lifespan, I would say. Like World of Visions got Advent Children collaboration like 3 months before they EOS'd. Now I'm hoping that they don't do that here, but I do think they're going to wait on Advent Children for a while.
Maybe that's a signal.
Because I think so many people are waiting for it.
Yeah.
I think so many people are waiting for it, and there's like not much that's to hype beyond AC. So I don't know. We'll see. But there's so many creative ways that they can do so many different things, and find different ways to do these stories, put more time into the CGI, like what you were saying, make a memorable scene that people want to watch over and over. I don't know how many times I've seen that Sephiroth versus Genesis versus Engiel fight, dude. I've seen that fight so many freaking times in my life. I just watch it over and over. It's so good. I love every. So yeah, I think that it would be nice to see that stuff as well and see more collaborations like for the anniversaries. That would be great. Like, could you imagine like Fantasy X 2-year anniversary collaboration? Like, bro, like it would people would be lining up at the door to come back to the game. And then if they mixed that with a new player campaign where they actually got good stuff, they could feel strong, and now they're playing the game, it's like, we're spitballing this. We don't even work at the company.
And then you have Genesis on the second anniversary coming with the Auron outfit, dude,
Oh,
it will break the charts, man. And then I don't know, Cloud, like you have so many options available, and then it's meaningful. It's way more meaningful because right now it's just it's the anniversary, come back, but where's the meaning? And I think they don't realize how powerful they are. I think they don't realize how much people love the series. As you were saying before, it was nice to see, in the live stream, like someone getting really upset, and because it's true, they have so much power and so much potential. Like once you know this better than anyone, once you create something, it doesn't really belong to you, right? It belongs to the people that are consuming it, and they start like creating their own stories. There are so many fan fictions about Cloud and Aerith, about Cloud and Tifa, Cloud and Sephiroth, Cloud and Zack, whatever. All power to the people, and then there's so much power that they have, and it's about just like connecting the right pieces and together, and then that's it. The game could last 10 years, 15 years. Like
easily.
If World of Warcraft did it, why Final Fantasy Ever Crisis wouldn't do it? Like they have the elements, they have the storytelling, they have the IP. It's just about leadership, as you were saying. And when you have bad leadership, everybody feels it, which is true everywhere. So we come back to the point.
So for sure, man. Absolutely, dude. I hope they do that.
With that,
I really hope they do.
Last question, maybe. Maybe the last one, because I'm running out of time. So, but we can do a part 2 if you want.
No worries.
By the way,
anytime, dude.
Seriously.
I'm always happy to jump on and talk with you, bro. Man, anytime.
Thanks a lot. Seriously, thanks a lot for coming. It was super fun. I would honestly love to continue the podcast, invite other people, so then we could chat 3-way or 4 ways. I would love to improve the community, like constantly get even bigger voices by uniting forces, somehow. Maybe last question, if you could become, if you could reborn, which character of Final Fantasy would you like to be?
Oh man, Zack.
Amazing, love it.
That would be Zack. I love Cloud. I really love Cloud, like to the heart. But my personality has just always been more like Zack. I like Zack. He's such a simple hero, Like he's just like he's there. He's not overthinking it. He's happy to be alive. He loves his friend. It's such a simple thing, What about you?
I mean, Zack would be the fantastic option, I think, but I think I would love to be an enabler, like someone like Auron when he picks, Tidus and then lifts him up, and then, or someone like, because I don't know, I really identify with those people that they are not the main protagonists, but they can be enablers of like bigger, greater goods, and I'm Barrett.
Yeah, for sure.
I love Barrett, man.
Barrett is great.
He's such a good dad in a way. It's like there are so many things that he wants to fix that he cannot fix, but he's trying his best in a way. Not the most powerful one, but it's lovely. But
you can feel his pain.
Yeah,
that's what makes him a great character. You can feel his pain. You can feel that he wants to help the world. You can see that he's just mad at the world. What the hell are you guys doing? Like, this isn't in the best interest for anyone. This is so selfish, so greedy. And I get that. Like, I understand looking at something that's like just trying to do bad and being like, what the F, right? Yeah, Barrett is great. I didn't know you meant across all of Final Fantasy, but also Zidane.
Oh, amazing. I think honestly, my choice will be, I would love to, and this is like perhaps too much, but I think being reborn as Aerith will be fantastic, living your life in such a positive, upbeat way, like trying to always look at the positives, and then at the end of the day, sacrificing yourself for a greater good. I think it's like, and then on a side note, being hella pretty and being a florist, and then falling in love with someone like Zack. Falling in love with someone like Zack, I think it must be one of those loves, like Bridge of the Madison Country type of thing, like one of those loves that really change your life forever for the better. It's like I think being reborn as Aerith, I'm not a woman, right? But if I could experience that, how cool would that be? You know, and then after that, if I could be reborn again as Tifa, just to compare.
That'd be fun because she's super like in that fight in Advent Children when she fights that dude and she's like bouncing off the walls, like she's badass, dude. Tifa's badass. I think that it'd be cool to be born as Aerith, but Aerith, dude, she holds like an incredible amount of pain.
Yeah.
Like she is such a strong person. She, no matter what, I mean, it's like her mother died. She basically had no one. She's the only one left in the world who's a Cetra. Like the amount of loneliness and like fear and doubt and all that stuff that she had and everything taken away and all that stuff. Like so many people could like, you know, lose themselves to that pain. And I feel like Aerith is such a good reminder that, you know, it's always going to be admirable and honorable to be compassionate regardless of the pain in your life. And she is such a great character for that because she is so selfless.
Yeah.
Like I can't even imagine, you know what I mean? Like it's
such a beacon of hope. It's like, it's the classic, if you're not gonna say anything positive, don't say anything at all. Like it's like I really inspired, you know. It's like Final Fantasy teaches many things, right? And it's the things that I really get inspired by the stories, right? And Zack, of course, it inspires you to become a fantastic human being, a fantastic man. That is a good example. Iris as well is the same. Like it's like Iris is like a huge reminder that time is finite. Well, in this case, because we know the story that is going to end, but it's a huge reminder that, you know, even when the worst happens to you, you can still like try and be positive. Try to, you know, get something positive out of it. Exactly, do your best. And they get less ganbatte, you know, the spirit of like the Japanese ganbatte.
Oh.
So I think it will be such a good thing to experience that and being able to, you know, continue. But
But we can all live like that in any instance. And it's like going back to what we were talking about earlier about sending even just an email to Square Enix. Like, yeah, it may not come of something. You may not get something from it, but you do actually get something from it. Anytime you choose not to give up and you fight for something, it builds your own inner strength. So even if you send that email and it does nothing, you gain something from it. It's like a level up bar with experience, right? And almost everything works like this. Courage works like this. If you want to be brave, you have to practice being brave. And the more you do it, the easier it gets, right? And so it's just like that. If you want to be someone who doesn't give up, stop giving up and start forcing yourself to do stuff. And don't do it because you want something from the world. Don't do it because you want the world to give you something. Do it because it's the right thing for you. And by doing the right thing for you, you're doing something good for the world. And then hopefully you'll get something good from the world back, right? So I think that so many characters in Final Fantasy remind us. I think that's why we're playing this, because these stories have resonated with us. They've taught us how to see the world in a certain way that we know is positive, that we want to embody these. We want to be honorable. We want to be courageous. We want to be kind. We want to fight when it's worth fighting for something, you know? And so these stories, they remind us of the people that we want to be. And I think that's so, so powerful and important. And yeah, I don't think that Applibot realizes the power that they have, dude. I think that they maybe look at it too much like a business instead of something that could be something more than that. And so, yeah, it's just hopefully, you know, if there's one constant in the world, it's change. So there's always a chance. And so, yeah, I think they're doing a good job, definitely better than the earlier half of the year. But I think there's always room for improvement. And I think that hopefully if they do start reaching out to like some of us and talking to us, like getting in touch with the community and making these changes, that they could really like make something truly fantastic, I think.
100% agree. We can only try with the power of friendship and the power of the community. And, you know, it's the same with Avalanche, right? It was like, you know, we are in this together. We are alone, but we are the people that can try to make a difference. So let's give it a try.
And they had barely any chance of success.
But
yet they're fighting for everyone.
Yeah, but it's good for your own.
Cool.
That was a fantastic delivery. It's really good for your own inner self and how you can grow as a person because you fought for what you thought was important to you. And it can be a game. It can be, the direction of your family. It can be the direction of your own life. But like, it's the little things that, give you those marks as experience and those level ups, as you were saying. That was fantastic, man, to hear you. So with that, once again, seriously, thanks a lot for coming. We'd love to chat with you in the future.
Anytime, bro.
So
anytime. Just chat me anytime. I'm happy to join. For all you guys that are here that haven't followed Pliyo, please follow him. I love his content. Just a great dude. You could just tell, right to the heart. So I hope you guys continue to follow him. I hope Ever Crisis gets. Thank you for having me, bro. I really appreciate it, and I'm happy to come again.
Thank you. And hopefully we can, create this momentum, and then the community goes by unifying all the different towns. Exactly. So thank you everyone for watching. So as I always say, if you like this type of thing, please consider showing a like and subscribe to the channel. And we say bye with a cheers.